Welcome to Something Spoiled. Here to review Justice League. Justice League Unite! Scott here.
Danny.
And we're going to review the Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon film, Justice League. Actually, two of us saw it together. You were very well behaved and tame. It was. I kind of feel actually I was robbed of the theater experience a little bit. Because it's usually like two shows, like the one up in front and then like the one on the side. But it was still an entertaining movie. So Justice League, the payoff after we got our first intro films into the DCEU, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then of course the excellently well executed Patty Jenkins vehicle Wonder Woman, which shined a huge spotlight on the very lovely and talented Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
So then we get Justice League.
Gal Gadot.
So I do want to start off by saying that if you haven't figured it out by now, there's going to be massive spoilers as we have a lot to talk about with this movie. I enjoyed it. I did like the movie. Does that mean I don't have issues with lots of parts of the movie? Well, sure I do. No one has ever made a perfect movie yet. Some people have come closer to others. Justice League is not going to be closer to the side of being a perfect movie, but I say that there was a lot of things that were well executed about it. For one thing, we finally got to enjoy the payoff of seeing all of our heroes together on screen for the first time. And if you haven't been living on planet Earth and seen any press about the movie, then you would be surprised to know that Superman is brought back to life in the movie. And that was actually one of the bright spots of the movie for me. First of all, Henry Cavill, to me, was never better as Superman. And when they brought him back was just pretty awesome.
One, I love the movie. There's a reason why I love the movie. I will say the biggest, I would say, sort of issue I had was that it seemed a lot like Wonder Woman 2 in the very beginning of the film. She was all over the screen and she was spectacular. They really gave her a lot of room to, she showed off things that we really didn't see in the Wonder Woman film. And she just whops just through the entire film. The other characters, Batman is too busy rounding up everyone. Everyone else is busy being rounded up. Cyborg is too busy, brooding. And so Wonder Woman, for a good part of the film, was taking care of business. So for a while, it feels like Wonder Woman 2 until they actually do get together.
All of the acting was good.
Oh yeah, all the acting was really, really good. Especially, I was surprised. Well, I'm a big fan of Jason Momoa, but I was surprised at the kind of like realness he gave to Aquaman. And making Aquaman a Pacific Islander, so I thought that was like, come on, like, Aquaman's gonna be like some blonde guy. Well, no, we need like, a Hawaiian dude. And I think that was no matter who, if they could have put The Rock in there, it would have been better than some white guy.
He really grounded the character, and he made an impact because I thought that he kind of, after he makes his introduction, he kind of disappears for a while, and we don't see him for a while.
Like, you knew he was going to be there, so it's kind of, but I think he showed a little Deus Ex, like there's a big flood, like they're about to all drown, and then Aquaman appears out of nowhere.
That's my biggest problem with it, is this script. It's just constructed on a whole bunch of coincidences. Anybody notice that 3 of the individuals that he's actively recruiting all have connection to Mother Box? There was a Mother Box on Themyscira.
Yes.
Okay, so he's already recruited Diana. There's a Mother Box in Atlantis. He just coincidentally has no idea that Arthur Curry, and there's a Mother Box in his home.
Yeah.
And then Cyborg shows up, who's like, oh, by the way, the Mother Box did this to me.
There was a lot of coincidental stuff,
but it executes where it needs to execute. Like I said, the strength of the movie is in then seeing the ensemble come together. You have good actors doing good parts. Ben Affleck he's nailed Bruce Wayne. He is definitely, and as much as I absolutely loved Christian Bale as in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight and even Dark Knight Rises, my least favorite of those three. But I'd have to say that once I warmed to the idea of Ben Affleck playing Batman in BVS, he was one of the best things about that movie, his performance, and he is that much better in Justice League. But once again, the story was structured awkwardly.
Yes,
and there was a lot of that. I'll point out one problem that I had. So after we wake up Superman, he shows up late in the battle, in the final battle, and there was no real explanation as to why he shows up late. And then after he shows up and clearly demonstrates that he can toss Steppenwolf around like a rag doll, and does, Steppenwolf is absolutely no match for Superman at all, then we need to create a situation where Superman has to leave. Kieran Hines, a very good actor, he did the voice for Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf was kind of a paper tiger. Even in the comic books, Steppenwolf is a, Darkseid is the, he's the guy. Yeah. He's the guy that is going to give Superman a run for his money if they go toe to toe with blows. Steppenwolf was, I guess, we just needed somebody to fill the villain slot. But I mean, I had a problem with his face. The CG was just so. His face looked like clay. Yeah,
I noticed that too, but I was giving them credit because in the Avengers, Ultron, while he was a robot, there were things that I didn't like about him because his metal, although he was a robot, it was a little fluid sometimes. It was a little too animated, and so they were trying to make it so he could talk and everything, but I was like, one, the metal was just kind of like flexing, waving sometimes, like, nah, like they... although the Avengers movie did it a little bit better, I was like, yeah, CG. Well,
but the reason I was able to excuse that is because they did a much better job of capturing James Spader's performance.
Yes.
Not that Kieran Hines is as well known as James Spader, but I just like, in the credits, that was Kieran Hines doing the voice of Steppenwolf. The voice acting was fine. But, I'm just like, okay, so we did him CG so we can make him bigger, but then you look in his face, he's very obviously CG.
Yeah.
Gadot, I like what she does with the character.
Have they ever called her Wonder Woman yet in the series?
I don't think so.
I think they all referred to her as just Diana. But she is a true hero. She stacks up against all the men, too. Like this goddess coming down from the sky, smashing things. We don't think of women that way, and it's really nice that Gal Gadot can be effeminate and beautiful, and she can fulfill that like sort of female role where she's loving and kind and she smiles on people, but she doesn't take any shit. She's gonna kick your ass because women can be super people too.
Well, and you're absolutely right. One of the things about her performance as Wonder Woman is she really balances the character's femininity. She's all woman. Mm-hmm. She's a strong woman. Mm-hmm. She doesn't overcompensate by being, butch or hard, or she's not ripping.
And I actually think that's sexist too, because that's something we've done in the past where a woman is not against a man. She just has to act like a man. Well, right. that doesn't. And I'm not saying traits are, but she can't be a beautiful girl and also kick ass. Why not?
And she clearly does, and Gadot makes you believe it. Mm-hmm. The Ezra Miller thing about the Flash, a lot of people were not really feeling the humorous, being played up for the comedy. You know what? I think that the ensemble needed it. I think there were times where they went for the easy laugh, but I think that Barry Allen, he with the whole dynamic of I don't fight, I just push people and run away. But I think once again Ezra Miller is a capable actor. I think he did what he was asked to do, and after he got the rousing, inspiring speech from Batman, "Save one, then you'll know what to do." The character does start to come into his own, and he starts to man up. Cyborg for me was probably the most frustrating, only because we didn't get to learn as much about him as I would like. We know that his powers come from the Mother Box. And Ray Fisher's performance, I've not seen him in a lot, but I wasn't expecting that heavy of a character, because he's a younger character, he's a teen character. At least my introduction to Cyborg is that he was a teenage character. I'm guessing that this one's probably maybe college age. And Fisher does this really nice job of doing this brooding, yet at the same time playing up this kind of dispassionate, almost machine quality.
Cyborg seemed to be the most overpowered. He could do a lot. He was able to hack into Batman's security system and literally see Bruce and just know that Bruce Wayne was Batman. He could hack this. He hacked into a system to have a automatic jet come to them, and his body can create rockets out of nowhere, and he can make jets and fly, control all machines.
Once again, the positive part of the character was Fisher's performance. Mm-hmm. What Fisher does with the character on screen makes him one that you want to continue to watch him, and he's a character that you kind of know where he is.
I did one thing that was actually satisfying. I think so. The whole movie, I was like, I don't like seeing the inside of Cyborg's body. It's so creepy. And so at the end, they have him figure out how to fill his chest, and I was like, and put the thing. I was like, thank God. I did not want another movie with him just hollow.
Jeremy Irons, I love the fact that he is Alfred. I love that. He is such... there's some good casting. He is the perfect Alfred. Mm-hmm. He is the one reason that I'm looking forward to a standalone Batman movie. When Henry Cavill returns to the screen, when he's resurrected, after that, once again, kick-ass resurrection scene, he's the best he's ever been as Superman. Mm-hmm. I think maybe it took him a while. He definitely didn't have it figured out in Man of Steel. The character was still new. He had the virtue of being the first actor to actually physically look like Superman. That scene when he came back from the dead, which was all right, you knew he was probably going to be feral to a degree.
Yeah.
But he was so vicious in that scene, and having seen BVS, part of me was just this is due. Batman has this coming. I said I love the performances. I think the chemistry of the group is what saves the movie, and the action sequences are watchable. The CG for the most part is good. There are some moments which are a little like I said, Steppenwolf's face is ridiculous, and Kieran Hines' performance is competent, but doesn't really transcend that. But I would say overall, taking everything as a whole, this might be a little generous, but I'm going to say that I'm going to have to give this one a 3.5.
That's exactly what I was going to say, actually.
3.5. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, 3.5. I would say it's definitely enjoyable. It doesn't annoy you. Being a Wonder Woman fan, she definitely steals the show, honestly, until Superman shows up at the end. But I was like, yeah, more Wonder Woman, yeah. So, yeah, 3.5, definitely.
Well, we could go on. We probably will be talking about this a whole lot more. But join the conversation. What do you have to say? What did you think of Justice League? I'm sure the opinions are as varied as the people watching. Please leave your comments below. How come y'all don't write? Go ahead, leave your comments below. No one's gonna sass you if you say something that we don't like. And if you want to see more content here, please click that subscribe button, and you too can be spoiled. We will catch you next time. Ka-chink.